Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the M56 Scorpion. It's the Tier 7 American Premium Tank Destroyer. It's located on the north spawn of Redshire and it's under the command of JuniorBritner13. Now, JuniorBritner sent me this replay in, and it's funny because I was looking forward to doing a replay about the Scorpion just recently because I've been watching some videos about it. Well, the Americans built 325 of this tank destroyer, and it was built between 1953 and 1959 for the airborne troops. It was originally designed as a self-propelled anti-tank vehicle. Now, it was actually built by Cadillac of General Motors, so it has some good pedigree. It's got a 90mm gun, which, as you can see, according to this, will do 240 alpha rather, and penetrate 290mm of armour. Now, it's also very, very small. It's only 2 meters in height, and about just slightly more than 2 yards, which makes it very difficult to be spotted by the enemy when it's in a hull down position or in a concealed position. That one didn't go near the target, but this one might. Yes! Good hit, 254, which is a high roll. Can still get shots on him. Yep, hit the tracks. Pulls back though, and looks like others are trying to get shots on him. No, that one went straight over the top of him. Trying to get shots on that Lynx. It's a bit difficult because the arc of the vehicle doesn't turn that much. And in fact, actually, whenever they actually use this vehicle, they try not to fire at any angle like that because the vehicle was so lightweight. It only weighed 7 tons. And if they actually tried to fire at an angle, the thing would act like a bucking bronco and would literally throw the crew around if they weren't steady and they applied the parking brake, because it literally had such a big recoil on such a tiny vehicle. Yeah, that Lynx is still running around, but he hasn't seen anyone here at the moment. Now, originally when the Americans ordered them, they cost $107,000 a piece, but when they placed a much bigger order, it only cost them $43,333 per unit, and the chieftain says 99 cents on top. Now, it's got virtually no armour on this vehicle whatsoever, only the gun shield really, and that's really only proof against small arms, certainly not against an anti-tank round. I mean, it really wasn't designed to carry armour simply because it was designed to be chucked out the back of an aircraft on parachutes and to land with the airborne troops and then to go into action. Oh, lovely target there. Yep. He got a low roll, 236. Can you get another shot in time? No, unfortunately not. The reload time 6.47 seconds for JuniorBritner, but the book reload is 7.48, so he's got it down quite a bit, but it's still a long reload because it's a 90mm gun. In fact, the rounds are very big, and something you may not know. Oh, that's an Arty round, and a direct hit at that. 652 hit points. Yeah. The average alpha on the M12 is 700, so he took a low roll from that M12, but he needs to get out of here because he was spotted, and I think he must have been seen. Oh, the Lynx is on his side. He takes a high roll. He's still there. He must still be there because he's on his side. He's going to have another go. Watch out for that M12 round inbound. The ELC is going to go in and see if he can find him. Yes, he is still there. And there's the kill shot. Ideally, though, he needs to move away from the spot because if the M12 does decide to fire another round in, he's going to really suffer. Now, this vehicle actually was only capable of carrying 29 90mm rounds, and you can see the racks at the back underneath the gun. In the game, they've actually given it 43 rounds to play with, which is slightly more than it could actually carry. which is surprising. And the rounds were on a spring mount in a tube, so oh, he got a shot in that T-34-3. Went straight through the wall and straight into the medium tank. And another one. Low roll this time. He's having a good game so far. A blind shot to see if he could get him. Might be worth another shot. Didn't get a kill off that shot, but it's worth trying again just in case. And now I would stop firing because it looks as if he's moved away. Yeah, he's moved away because that was on target, but all it did is hit the building. Yeah, he's pulled back. Yeah, he's just blowing in grounds into the ground now. You've got to know there's got to be a time. Oh, he got him! He must have come back! He did get the T-34, so I was wrong, he was right. The guy pulled away, but he must have come back because he fired a lot of rounds and most of them hit target, so they should have damaged that T-34 and killed him after about 2 rounds, or 3 rounds rather. And he got another round into the turret of the T-29. He's racked up just under 2k of damage, which is not bad for a little tiny little tank destroyer. Scores are still even though. I was saying about the rounds, actually, they're stored in those little bins, tubes at the back of the vehicle, and they're on spring loaded, so all the loader had to do was undo a clip, pull up a hatch, and the round would just literally fly out at him, which he could then use to load into the vehicle. But as I said, this vehicle's got a tremendous recoil, and so normally the loader will either jump off the vehicle altogether or would hang on for dear life as the thing fires, because it acts like a bucking bronco. It literally, the vehicle flies with the recoil. It's so strong. If you ever see a film of one of these actually firing, you would believe it. It is literally flying all over the place, like a bucking bronco. Normally the commander and the loader would stay off the vehicle when it was firing because it would jump about so much. In fact, the recoil was so heavy that the gunner had to actually aim the thing, then pull his head away from the aim sights before he fired, otherwise it would take the front of his face off. Literally, the recoil was so strong, the thing would fly all over the place like He's now up to just under 3k of damage, or 2.8. I don't think that strip can see him, but the strip can feel him, that's for sure. I go for another shot easily, yeah. Over 3k of damage now. He's really having a great game for this tiny little tank destroyer. Now, these vehicles did actually see service with the airborne in Vietnam, but they were actually replaced by the M551 Sheridan in the end, because of course the Sheridans did have armour, whereas this thing doesn't really have any at all. It's powered by a 6-cylinder, 6-litre engine, 403 cubic inches. It's an opposed gasoline engine, which means it's very similar to a Subaru engine. And that produced 200 horsepower, so it wasn't particularly fast, but it could motor around at 45 kilometers per hour. So the US Marine Corps actually had a vehicle very similar to the M56 Scorpion. They called their one the Ontos, and it was actually an enclosed vehicle using the same chassis, until of course they decided to accept a design change, and therefore they stopped using the same vehicle after that. But the Ontos was a very similar vehicle with 6 recoilless rifles, and that was designed to take out enemy tanks. It was a tank destroyer, and had 6 of those recoilless rifles mounted around the vehicle. But during their time in Vietnam, they were only used as fire support and usually in emplacements. It's surprising that Wargaming haven't put the Ontos into the game, because after all, technically speaking, it could appear in the game. Mind you, with a 6-barrel recoilless rifle, I think that it might actually have devastating force if you think about it. He's got one into the Borsig, and the Borsig's got no armour like this vehicle, so he's easily going to be able to damage that guy. And there's only 3 enemies left, and there he goes. So it looks like they are going to win this one. 6 against 2 now. Now, the United States actually did sell this vehicle to other countries. Spain bought 5 of them. West Germany bought 1 for evaluation. South Korea had 60, but most of those were ex-US Army versions, the versions that were actually issued to the airborne. And Morocco was the other one who actually bought them, and they bought 87 of them, and they did see service. They were actually used in West Sahara against the Polisario rebels, so they put them to good use. Because after all, it is a very light vehicle that can move about quite quickly, and so it's very good at anti-insurgency. So if you've got terrorists and the like moving about behind the fields, you could actually use it against them. Quite a powerful gun, a 90mm gun used against the insurgents' vehicles would take them out very, very quickly. Of course, the insurgents were using cars and to get around, what we call technicals nowadays, which is vehicles with machine guns and the like mounted on top of them. But of course, you put one of these into the field and the enemy's got a technical, they're going to get wiped out very quickly. There's only one enemy left, it's that strip, 1030, the one that he was firing at earlier, the Tier 9 Swedish tank destroyer, somewhere in this vicinity. Oh, ran into the ELC, so he's obviously pulled back, and considering they've covered the field, he must be over somewhere on the west side of the map at the back. ELC's going off to have a quick look. Oh, there he is. First round, looks like it hit the tracks, but he didn't get a critical hit, and the enemy's been taken down by the 122 TM. And that's the end of the game. So it's a victory for JuniorBritner13. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. Well, it's an ace tanker for JuniorBritner13 in the M56 Scorpion. You can tell it's his first ace tanker because he's got the scrolls underneath. He also got a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points for his own vehicle, a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He managed to get 7. And he also picked up a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game, and a Confederate as well for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. At least 6 tanks that were subsequently taken down by others. His win rate from the game was 7,699, which is Super Unicum standard. Very good indeed. Let's have a look at team score and see where he stands. Well, there you go. Highest damage in the game, 4,365 hit points. That's a very good game for the M56. The next high scorer was, in fact, the AMX 65 ton on the enemy team with 2,886, followed by the 122 TM, the new tank, with 2,815 on his own team. And that guy got a leather slaves. The IS-32 got a steel wall. When it came to base X, number of kills, first, the IS-32 managed to get the highest with 5 kills. 4 kills went to the 122 TM, and then 3 kills went to the AMX 65 ton. In joint 4th place, we can see Junior Britain got 2 kills, so did the SU-122-44 on the enemy team and their charioteer. And when it came to base XP, yes, he's top of the table with 1,369, 1,131 went to the ELC Evan 90, who was obviously doing some swatting, and 1,062 went to the IS-32, and 1,040 went to the 122 TM. He fired 32 rounds in that game, very good game. Well, he had 11 rounds spare at the end of the game. 25 direct hits, 19 penetrations, Damage of 4,365 hit points, of which 4,141 wrote more than 300 meters. He received one hit. It was a penetration, and that was the shot from the M12 actually that smacked into it. It did pen, yes. Very low roll for an M12, and I'm surprised the M12 didn't fire again, because obviously if you get a hit once, then you follow up normally with another shot to see if you can finish off whatever's wounded. 8 enemy vehicles were damaged, 2 were killed, and 211 hit points of damage assistance. On a free-to-play account, he earned 62,371 credits, and after repair and ammunition resupply, took away 34,803 credits. He received 1,369 base XP, times 2 for the first victory, took away 2,780 experience points altogether, and he got, well, not altogether, 182 for this being a premium vehicle, and then 5,700 experience points altogether. So his first ace tanker in the M56 Scorpion, a very good game by JuniorBritner. There was loads of targets for him to shoot at, and he exploited that position the best he could. It was difficult for the enemy to spot him, and that Strip 1030 obviously couldn't see him. He got a lovely target in terms of that Lynx, who flipped himself in such a way that he couldn't right himself, and so he got the kill on him. And if we look at that T-34-3, he actually hit that guy 6 times. 6! So he was right to keep firing. I was wrong. He got 1,300 hit points. I think that's the entire hit point count for that vehicle. So he must have been the only one who touched that vehicle, and he took him out altogether. So he didn't pull back. He was still sitting there all the time that JuniorBritner was firing in on him. So very well done on that one indeed. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.